In today's class, we are going to discuss about the order of the reaction. So at the end of this lecture, you will be able to acquire knowledge on order of the reactions. What is reaction order? The order of the reaction refers to the relationship between the rate of a chemical reaction and the concentration of the species taking part in it. The order of the reaction can be defined as the power dependence of the rate of the concentration of all reactants. For example, the rate of a first order reaction is dependent solely on the concentration of one species in the reactant. In the same way, we can define for zero order, second order, and third order, and so on. Next, characteristics of a reaction order for a chemical reaction. The reaction order represents the number of species whose concentration directly affects the rate of the reaction. It can be obtained by adding all exponents of concentration terms in the rate expression. The order of the reaction does not depend on the stoichiometric coefficient corresponding to each species in the balanced equation. The reaction order of a chemical reaction is always defined with the help of reactant concentration and not with the product concentration. The value of order of reaction can be in the form of an integer or a fraction. It can even have a value of 0 also. Zero order reaction. Here the rate is equal to k into a to the power 0. So for zero order equations, so the concentration of A is 0. So this becomes k. So anything power 0 is equal to 1. So 1 is multiplied with k. The rate is independent of reactant concentration. The reactant decreases linearly with the time. Reaction does not slow down as a reaction process. So this is the example of zero order reaction. It's a decomposition of ammonia in the presence of molybdenum or tungsten catalyst. The surface of the catalyst is almost completely covered by ammonia molecules. The adsorption of gas on the surface cannot change by increasing temperature or pressure or concentration of ammonia. Thus, the concentration of gas phase remains constant through the product is formed. So, it is considered as zero order reaction. Coming to the first order reaction, so this is the basic reaction A that gives product. The rate is equal to K. It's the differential form of this equation. And when you integrate it, the concentration of A at time t minus K into t plus concentration of A at time 0. This is the integrated form of zero order reaction. So when you draw the graph between concentration of A at time t versus time, you have a graph like this with a slope of minus k and the intercept is A0. This is a graph for zero order reaction. So any reactions that have a graph like this, it is a zero order reaction. Next, we have to calculate the half-life of zero order reaction. So for this we have to take the integrated form, the concentration of A at time t minus K into t plus the concentration of A at time 0. We will substitute T is equal to T off and AT is equal to off into A0. So we'll rearrange the equation and at last we'll get the half-life T off is equal to A0 divided by 2K. The zero order half-life varies depends on the initial concentration of the reactant. Next, coming to the first order reaction, here the rate is equal to K into A to the power 1. It's directly proportional to the reactant concentration and the graph is linear. So next, coming to the integrated form of first law, ln A concentration at time t and the concentration of A at 0 is equal to minus K into T. Here A0 is the initial concentration at time 0 and AT is the concentration of A at time t during the course of the reaction. So if you plot a graph between ln A and time, you will also get a straight line with a slope of minus K. And here the intercept is ln of A naught. Then we have to find half-life for first order reactions. So for that we will take the integrated form ln of A at t and ln of A at 0 minus K into T. We have to substitute T is equal to T of and A is equal to half into A naught. So if you substitute and rearrange, at last you'll get T of is equal to 0.693 divided by K. The first order half-life is constant and it is independent of concentration. Now, coming to the second order reactions, the rate is equal to K into A to the power 2. It is directly proportional to the square of the reactant. So this is the integrated form. So A gives product. This is a differential form. If you integrate it, 1 by AT is equal to KT plus 1 by A into A naught. So if you draw a graph between 1 by A at time t and time, we'll get a graph like this with a slope of K and the intercept is 1 by the concentration of A at time 0. Next we have to calculate the half-life time of second order reaction. For that we will take the integrated form and we will substitute again T is equal to T of 1. The concentration of AT is equal to half into A0. After that we have to rearrange. At last we will get T of is equal to 1 by K into A naught. The second order half-life varies depends inversely on the initial concentration of the reactant. So this table clearly depicts about the rate law, units for K, integrated rate law in straight line form and plots for straight line, slope, intercept and half-life for zero order, first order and second order. The next topic is molecularity. It is nothing but the number of reactant particles involved in the reaction. We will take three different equations. A gives product, A plus A gives product, A plus B gives product. In the first reaction, the molecularity is 1. And the second two reactions, the molecularity is 2. So if the molecularity is 1, it is otherwise called as unimolecular reaction. And if the molecularity is 2, it is otherwise called as bimolecular reaction. The elementary steps where the three particles collide, intermolecular are very rare. So these are some of the expected questions from this unit. The learning outcome, I think you can able to acquire knowledge on the order of the reaction. Thank you.